Anyway, I don't know. Filmmaking on that level, of course, is just completely masterful. It's just, when you really kind of sit down, these little videos and things, they can be, this can be overwhelming, time consuming. It's a different, and I can understand an actor attempting. Listen, any actor, and like when I did Grace A.K. Ware Vlog, which was supposed to be originally a fighting film, and I turned it into a thing about a werewolf and these vloggers and stuff, or I attempted to. It might be something, but any of the actors, if we launch that, let's say if someone goes, okay, listen, hey, look at this, all this traffic, and it's green right here. Let's say they said, okay, listen, we're gonna give you a shot at this Grace A.K. Ware vlog and stuff. I'd be rewriting and all this stuff, because the dedication of these vloggers are on the same level, but the quality is not too far off. The thing about Coppola, and I just want to go back to The Godfather, is he thought about paintings, okay, when he did that. I know he thought about paintings. If he didn't, then I'm like, well, you thought about some nice photographs. It's almost on the same level as Barry Lyndon. Barry Lyndon is literally like a painting that comes to life. That's The Godfather. It is The Godfather. If you look at it, they're paintings, especially the cathedral stuff where he's doing the baptism, Michael Corleone's doing the baptism and all that stuff, and it interchanges with that classic. That film alone could be taught in film school. You learn some aspects of that film alone, you'd be able to probably make anything. They're from Louisiana. I mean, you can't do Monster in a Box, you know what I mean, by, oh man, great. I love this. I love this kind of stuff. Not Paul Auster, but you get the idea. The other guy, Monster in a Box, he did Swimming in Cambodia. That's going to be more from perspective of an actor. Spalding Gray. Spalding Gray, yeah, I always looked up to him. I even liked him when I was younger. I watched him in the HBO series. Who is this guy? What is he? Then I found out just the other day that Andy Kaufman's not a comedian. No, Andy Kaufman was not a stand-up comedian. He's an anti-stand-up comedian. Andy Kaufman was an anti-stand-up comedian. He was a performance artist. He was actually more closer to like an actor. He was not doing stand-up comedian jokes. You got to watch his career to understand. Jim Carrey, stand-up comedian. Seinfeld, the ultimate the Godfather stand-up comedian. Okay? Andy Kaufman wasn't. He was playing a character. I'm just trying to get everything in line. But yeah, painting, totally. Like, it's more than a postcard. You know how they say a film should be like a postcard after postcard after postcard? We're talking painting, And some of the stuff is it's just amazing. It's just gorgeous. He'll go to his grave probably slightly smiling when he knows that thing is a complete masterpiece by far, and will be just like Sistine Chapel, just like Michelangelo, just like Vincent van Gogh. I mean, it'll be priceless. The print of The Godfather, priceless. It'd have to be. It would be a priceless print. Taxi Driver might too. But I don't know. Goodfellas, maybe. But Godfather, priceless print. It'll go into a priceless print. Meaning you will not be able to purchase it. It'd become priceless. It'd have to be. I don't know. I'm just speaking because I'm a fan of filmmaking and the courage to go to that extreme. And Apocalypse Now, there was times where they talked about stepping off a platform. He was that mad. Coppola, the thing is, when I saw the interviews of him, I saw like this mad, genius, talking. He did this thing with his hand where his hand would move kind of weird. I'm like, what is this, This type of person, that talks in imagery. It's hypnotic, Scorsese, it's a mile a minute, man. It's like a little demon, a little Lynch film or something. Scorsese, he's like, he just like, he's not in real time. He's not in real time. He's in fast motion. I'm sure people have talked about that. Coppola's like this mad painter throwing paint in the air as like he's speaking, but he's not. The paint's not there, but he's like trying to paint while he's speaking. Look at this thing. Yeah, they're all crazy. Hey, listen. What I would probably say in a film class, if I say if you're not crazy, you're gonna have to work really hard. You know, if I was teaching, I was like, okay, let's get hands if you think you're crazy. First of all, if you're in the film class, you know, first of all, do you think that you're insane? All hands up. You know, one guy in the back. You're gonna have to work really hard, man. If you got all the logical, if you know all the numbers, well, they should know the numbers. They'll know the numbers. This is classic, like Fort Worth right here. No, they have to think logically. It's a step. It's you know, they'll spend. Shoot, Kubrick spent what 2 months on the sniper scene in Full Metal Jacket or something. It was like a month. It was like a record amount of time. Still didn't get it right. All right, now I know where I'm at. Then I go back to Versailles and drop off the freaking chef salad, man. Don't ever ask the cooks if they have everything. This thing is like freaking huge, man. All right, so she's gonna try to make an ordeal because they stuff everything in this. The guy tried to buy part of the pizza off of me on the elevator for $20. I could have probably taken it, you know. It's like, yeah, $20, fine, okay. The guy didn't show up, and then take the slashing for it. But let's see. I didn't go with it though because they've been waiting. This is the exit right here. I was like, yeah, okay. Well, what are you supposed to do, really? You know, he just wanted a slice for $20 because he was drinking. He's in the elevator. He's like, dude, $20 for a slice of pizza. Man, it's crazy. Can you imagine a slice for $20? That's nothing to joke around about. $20 slice of pizza. Employees that way. It's beautiful hotel. Real quick, and I gotta drop off the chef salad. They've added on to this thing. If you ever been here, it's like completely great. I would think this should do it. I would think this is the only way. I don't know for sure on this side, right over here, because I tried it before. I actually, man, I do not know. I would try there, and then, or maybe talk to one of the concierge or something. There we go. Here's this right there. Freaking, look at this. It's massive, massive. Here. It's just freaking amazing. I don't remember any of this being built. They must have done it like under everybody's noses. It's amazing. It's a beautiful lobby. All right, this rarely happens, but we get so backed up. We're doing like 3 at a time and stuff. Sometimes 4 at a time, but you know, it's like my thing that I tell them is like, I just say, we got anything special? We got a cannoli, we got Dr. Pepper, we got Coke, whatever. You have to circle it, and if I skip it, then yeeks, you know, especially on a busy night, it comes like a domino effect. So I should already be headed back. So what I'm going to try to get out of is just not asking that question. But you know, you're looking at packages, and they would know the answer. So what you do is you get a little more specific, and you'd point at the package and say, you know, is this the cannoli? And they would, you know, they would say, okay, yes. You know, is this the chef salad, or is this the salad? You know, well, the salad's easy to identify, but the chef salad, because there's different packages that go through, you have to like kind of like in Roadie. What's crazy, and this is definitely not Roadie, and I'm glad. And Roadie, everything has to be scanned. It's impossible to leave anything behind. I don't know if Amazon does the same. So you scan, you know, you scan this, and you scan that, and you scan the next one, you scan the next one. You're dealing with the old school, this is this matches with this. The items, then the amount of items have to be clear when you're looking at the actual ticket, and then you're looking at what's going in the bag. The amount, like this is because 4 items, so this item must be, you know, chef salad. This item must be, you know, cannoli, you know, and you can feel that the cannoli is kind of cold. you know, because you don't have time to open every bag and sit there and look. You're just grabbing and going, you know, and that's kind of what they're doing too. So they'll say, yeah, everything's there, and they mean the pizza. But what I'm asking, I'm trying to communicate with the guy is every special item, you know, cannoli is a special item or a dessert item, you know, is every little thing there, you know. Who knows what they go through on set making films, and, you know, depending on if they care. And if you don't care, that can be a problem, you know. If something was missing in an eraser head, you know, if the hair wasn't right, you know, like what, there's specific, that's how all life is. There's the gardens, the water gardens. That's how life is, you know. You just don't breeze through it. You're taught that in school. You know, detail is, the devil's in the detail, is what they say. It's the thing, you know. But they just say their answer is always yes. And it's just, it's like a whirlwind of the same, you know, issue. So I shouldn't ask, you know. It's like that easy. Just, okay, I'll just have to just start looking. Just identifying what is what. And that can, you know, it can get anyone. It never once got me on Roadie, because Roadie will not let you go. At least you scan that item into whatever. But there's probably some way, somewhere down the road, that it. Here, I'm going to show an example on Roadie, just real quick. I just don't. I'm talking mostly about delivery. That's mostly everything, not just restaurant delivery, but when I worked for Roadie. Okay, here's an example of how things can go awry with Roadie. So they had this thing called Good something. It was some kind of food, Good Earth food. I don't know the whole name of it. And there was like 37 packages of it, right? And you had to scan each one as it was going out, or it wouldn't let you go. And they're all delivered over a period of maybe 7 or 8 or 10 miles. And it could take a couple hours, you know, or something, depending on how fast you go and the address was correct and everything like that. Well, and you're using the same apps. You're using the same that you've been using before, you know, Google Maps and Waze, and, you know, and the other one would be, you know, Apple, whatever, you know. I think it'll allow you to choose on each package. But here's something that would allow you to do. So the first drop off, I finally get there. I pick it up at the airport on a dock. And you may watch this if you go back. You may not. I don't know. Depends on if you're really into delivery. Depends on if it's cut up. Depends on if it's sent over. It's turned into a movie or documentary. I don't know what it would be. But I got on the dock. I got everything. I get out there to Dallas. And I get to the first drop-off point thinking, wow, this person ordered a lot of food. 37 packages to be exact. I'm scanning each package, 37. As this drop off. So it doesn't have a foolproof GPS system on it. So I'm scanning each one, bam, it's clicking. And they're piling up in front of the front door, and I drive off, and it's taking me, it's only gonna scan, I don't know how it got through, but it did. That one I don't remember. I really have to go through the detail of it. But somehow the whole thing, I guess, oh yeah. In my mind, the one scan represented 37 packages. Yeah, Jesus has risen, Luke 24:6. It had represented all 37 packages or whatever. And I scanned one of them and dropped all 37 packages off. So I get down the block and it's going, okay, here's your next delivery of the next 36. I'm like, okay, I got to go back and get every single package. I don't think I scanned each one. I don't know. I may not have. I may have just in my mind thinking like, what is this? So they only ordered one. You know, that was how the day started. But that was just one style of delivery for Roadie. I don't know if they're doing food. I think they were doing nothing but cakes. You know. Listen, don't know if things changed, but if they don't up the prices on Roadie, suicide, just completely no way, you know? No way in a million years. Taking you all the way to Dallas to drop off these people's medicine past Lake Rayburn for $30. But this is like a vital medicine that was like for, what are those patients called? They're basically hospice patients. and they were, in hospice at home. But I'd have to drive from the pharmacy here all the way across, I guess that was Lake Ray Hubbard. And it would be like past Dallas, an hour from Dallas, for like 3.5 hours to go to this hospice area. It was insane. It was just, I don't know, maybe for the karma points. All right, last wrap up. Then we got to head back and sweep up. It's going to be for a salad. I'm just going to ring the door and walk off. And probably one thing I would ask if you're watching my channel, I'd probably be like, I really do appreciate you watching my channel. I'm trying to be entertaining. I'm sorry. This is my life. I like watching vlogs and peering into other people's lives. I don't use tons of music. I talk about it and show it. I'm working on it. Freaking Marlon Brando. Big fan. So I guess what I'm saying is, try them out. Admiral Fell Promises, the album name. Sun Kill Moon. Totally freaking changes you, man. It really does. It seeps into you. It's a creepy thing. Now, there's some Sun Kill Moon albums. There's some rumors going on about Mark Kozalik and like I'm Men Too movement. And what in the Men Too movement, that's MEN. Movement. The idea is about understanding. It's not about everybody getting their way. It's not necessarily Fight Club, because the first thing about Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. But Fight Club, there was some understanding. Although that was an extreme kind of thing, fictional movie, great movie, Fincher, But Men Too is that at least try to look through the perspective of a dude. If I put it up here higher, because I put everything down like right here, it's kind of ghostly, like a spirit is guiding the phone or something. But what I mean is that what I always tell about people in the Men Too movement is we're respectful to all genders, ideas, people, everything. So it's about respecting others. It's about appreciating humanity, loving the visual image, loving the sound, loving people, right? Being caring, and not in like a yoga way, like a Jesus Christ way, like using the principles of what Jesus came to teach about. All right. Ultimately, I think he was trying to teach men to like put away your swords. Let's help one another, feed people the fish, or whatever it is, bread, whatever, that kind of thing. I don't want to get real dogmatic and quote a bunch of scripture and thump my thumb. But I know that there's some things that people have said about Mark. I've never met the guy. I've seen some of the things he's talked about before, like let's say before he starts singing. He doesn't seem like he's like a trash hole kind of person, Not that really any rock star, I mean, it's not like he's in a library reading books to kids, but he could probably do that. And listen, there's always redemption, regardless of coming out of the bathroom and the robe falls off or whatever. I don't know the whole rule on things, Who knows? There's some powerful stuff out there that people are putting down their throat, which is not. Just stay away from drugs. So the book that's being written is called Dog Night Out, revolutionary book about, I just say the word police corruption because they use other people, just like bullies in a bully yard. Let me tell you about bullies when it comes to cops and robbers and bullies. Is they use all these excuses to get into these situations with people. They'll use any excuse they can. That's how the devil is. The devil fell and pulled his dominion down. And they start accusing, this has been going on since the time they stoned Stephen and persecuted Stephen. And Paul and, the rest of, the people that have been persecuted. So they'll use any means possible, especially Fort Worth, who's like hugely corrupt. You can see that right there. And they'll use anything they can in their means, anything possible to make sure that their job is legit. The first that will go with them is the lethal sidearm. That means they'll only have like pepper spray. They'll be like extension of mall cops. There'll be so many drones, there'll be so many drones that there won't even be any need at all for their little bright lights. The first thing I'm gonna take when I'm in office, the first thing I'm taking away from them is the bright lights. They'll have dim old 1980 headlights working on like volunteer status. We have so many drones and things that we can do to monitor stuff. We don't need these bullies putting young kids up to assaulting people. They're standing out in front of people's apartments telling young kids to do their henchmen stuff for them. We don't need their bullying anymore. So I'm on my way, a slow progress to office. And since Biden can't do it, then I'm going to have to do police reform for him. And it's going to take a long time. But I can tell you now, names are going down in a book that will be intensely investigated. All right. Another night of delivery. Head back, see Linda and Kitty.
What's up?
All right. Do you want to explain it in detail?
Oh, what?
Did someone around this apartment complex, which is right. So this person touched you and pushed you in the bushes?
Yes.
And the police were dealing with them today,
No.
correct?
Yes, correct.
The police were talking to him today, so the police are responsible.